I hope so.
I don't even know my login for PlayStation Network anymore. I can't even do it.
Just whatever you do, say your password directly into the microphone. I
I
won't.
don't even know what it is. I can't even.
I'll remember to bleep it out.
Look into the
Can't even
camera and
pretend.
say it directly into the microphone. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to episode 182 of the Planet Destiny podcast. Merry
All this
Christmas,
stays
happy
in.
holidays, everybody. It's almost
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, guys. Merry Christmas, Nim.
Merry Christmas.
Yeah, Merry Christmas, Dan.
Happy holidays to you as well, my friend.
That's right, and bah humbug to not having sword bullets in Destiny
Bullets. Sword bullets.
2. Where did we go wrong? We're back once again to discuss the goings-on within the Destiny world, and we have got your usual roundtable of hosts. Returning this week, we have got the one and only Aura.
Hey guys, I'm back.
Yeah, you feeling better?
I'm feeling much better, thank you.
Good to hear. That's good to hear. Nim, what's up, man?
I'm good. Hi.
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 What's up? That's good, bro.
Try not to die here, but I'm good.
It's a decent habit. You should probably keep that up. I hope you succeed. Dan, how's it going?
It is going fantastic. I can't
Fantastic.
complain. It's been a good week. It's been a good week in Destiny for me.
Right on, right. Well, then we're going to start with you when we get to the conversation. You've had a good week in Destiny. Of course, my name is the Black Link, and we are back to discuss some Destiny news and all kinds of things going on. So, we've had a week in Destiny. How did yours start off, Dan?
First, let me say that the opening Izanami Forge was a test of patience.
Oh, we're going straight into it.
We're diving
I'm going
right
straight
in.
straight in. Normally on Tuesdays I stream with Jaden and Bibble, and we normally do reset stuff, right? So
Mhm.
we launch in, we do the Mara quest first because we heard there was like some rumblings in the old Dreaming City. So we did that first in order not to be spoiled. Then we were like, let's open Izanami Forge. How long could that take? And then so it took the rest of that stream and then all of my stream on Thursday morning on Planet Destiny
Oh my god.
to get it open. And I gotta say, it was a long time. It was at one point, I got Izanami Forge open and I was like, whew, I'm glad that's over. And then someone was like, but wait, you have to do a bow. I was like, no, I refuse. That was one of the only times I've ever been triggered on stream. I went and helped Landfell with his malfeasance quest, the last step of that, and then came back and finished it out with a clearer head. And yeah, that was fun.
You're a champ.
Yeah, but outside of that, everything else went great. Like got my character to 650 without really dipping into the other two characters, and just doing milestones and raids outside of Scourge. And then I started working on my Xbox character, so that's pretty nice.
You chose to do that. That's what you're choosing to do with
I
your
did.
time.
But I'm fine with it because like everybody else has gone over to PC, right? It's a good marketing plan. Everybody goes to PC and they leave everyone else who has a console behind.
Yeah.
I'm
you did.
here to help those with consoles achieve their dreams. So it's been pretty nice. We did tonight I did my first like training raid to help other people become Sherpas, and that was super awesome. It was a lot of fun.
Nice.
Yeah.
Not a bad way to
You have a lot more patience for teaching people than I do.
I'm infinitely patient though, so that's not saying much.
Except when it comes to opening forges, right?
Oh my god, that took so long. That was just too much.
So-
What did you guys think of it? Like, have you guys opened all the forges to date?
Yes.
Yeah. So everybody here has opened up the Izanami Forge.
Mm-hmm.
I guess
Three
Him
times.
looking through his eyes. 3 times.
3 times.
Oh,
Who did it 3
brother.
times?
So I initially opened it up on my hunter because my hunter took off and he's the highest. So did that, and by the end of that quest, I was like, "This is crap.
This ain't it.
I'm not doing this again.
This ain't it.
No." Then what was it? So then I was like, "All right, I'm tired. I'm sick and tired of playing as my hunter." So I
Mhm.
scrolled over to my warlock, and then I kept hearing how great the blast furnace was.
Right.
So I was like, I guess we're opening Izanami on my warlock. So spent the rest of my night doing that, which sucked. And then I was like, all right, no, that's it. No, I literally can't. That is too much. But Bungie has a way. Then as Limonarch started dropping, everybody was trying to figure out what to do to trigger it. So I got on my hunter again, and I was like, all right, well, we're gonna farm the living shit out of Izanami until that thing drops.
And Le Monarch is the exotic bow. Just for
Yes, the
everybody out there who
exotic
might not know.
Thorn bow, as Hamrick called it. So got back on my hunter, started doing Izanami's literally just back to back because by far it's like the easiest forge and the fastest one to do. 36 clears in, and I was like, okay, well, I think I'm gonna take a break. And then I think it was like a day or two later, Bungie's like, oh hey, the bow is dropping from powerful frames. And I was like, oh, okay. Then I look over at my Titan. I guess. It's like,
So your life has been exemplified by making poor decisions this week.
I mean, that's been 28 years of my life, but that's besides the point.
Well, that's
To put it
unfortunate.
into some perspective, my Titan had not unlocked Volunder yet.
So you unlocked Izanami.
So I started. He had the machine gun frame. I did Volunder, and then once I got that, I was like, all right, Gofanon time. And by Gofanon, it dropped when I did the sniper rifle frame. That's when the exotic bow dropped. So I haven't unlocked the Izanami yet, but I'm like on step 2 out of 9 for that on my Titan.
Oh my gosh, that's so frustrating because it's such a tedious grind to unlock these forges. I think the Izanami Forge is like a 12-step quest that it just drags on and on and on and on and on. And I can't imagine, I couldn't imagine doing that on more than one character. I got it done early this week. And I haven't touched it on my Titan and on my Hunter. I don't want to. I don't know why this content isn't unlocked once you do it on one character. I don't know why that's not a thing. Why don't I couldn't do that, man. I couldn't go through doing this 3 different times. Not right now. I'm not hurting for gains that bad.
Well, and that was part of the conversation in the past couple weeks, right? Is that like some of these forges, like the forges and certain other activities, like opening the Dreaming City, should be kind of account wide, right?
Yeah.
Like doing them on multiple characters just seems like a little bit of a tedium that really isn't necessary for the most part if you're wanting to just get in and have fun.
Right.
It's like a way to extend playtime.
It's filler.
Yeah.
It's filler.
Yeah.
Filler. It's exactly
Filler.
what it is.
The entire quest for the latest forge, and I can't pronounce the words.
Mhm.
I'm not going to embarrass myself by saying it. It felt like filler, and certain parts of it, certain missions, they just they ended.
Mhm.
Like I'm rolling along, bam, stop.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's it? Like, that's where it ends? Like, this was building into this thing. I'm shooting these oracles, building this platform to jump onto.
Then it's done.
And I get to the final one, I kill a dude, and it's over. And I'm like,
Yeah.
what am I even doing here?
Yeah.
Busy work.
You're getting up to the thing and turn the power switch on, dude. It's where the light switch is. Turn on the forge, guy. Hello. Yeah, I get,
Yeah.
it just felt like a sudden abrupt stop to me is what it felt like. I felt like it was building to something more than what we got. And going and killing this enemy this many times, and going and killing this guy that many times, and buying a fruitcake to give away this holiday season, just felt like it's like, God, like we're already doing it. I get it. We're putting meaning behind it. Like I guess it was just like it felt like what could have been 3 steps was made into 12 for no valid reason.
Yeah.
Is all it felt like to me. And it's easy for me on this side of things to say that. And it's really hard on Bungie's side to create a content rollout that is not a DLC per se.
Right. Yeah.
So there's not really a middle ground for it. But I just remember Fallout 2 being like, do I have to take the SATs again to unlock this forge? Like, what? Like, and I was like, I feel like you're on point with that. It took a lot of people a while. I just blew through it, but I'm not going to do it on another character.
Yeah.
I don't care if it increases my drop chances for exotics that I might never actually fire, because nothing still has unseated any of my traditional loadouts for anything. But it's like, I got a god roll pulse rifle. I have the bow for my collections. I've got the light machine gun and whatnot, and the hand cannon for my collections, whatever all the other weapons are. I've got one of everything. And that's kind of where I'm leaving it. There's I got a couple of friends, like JoJo's out there. She's got like 300 completions done of the Gofanon Forge. Like that's all that she's been grinding out for. Yeah, like she got in the hundreds of completions for. And it's like it's really cool that it gives people who want to grind something to grind for, and there's still an RNG aspect of it that pulls you back in over and over again. But it did not need to be 12 steps long to get to it. It didn't need to be.
Yeah, no, that is a little ridiculous.
It feels like busy work, you know. It just feels like busy work. I mean, the first step is to what? You have to get the quest to drop.
Yeah,
as a random thing.
Yeah, you have to get the quest to drop, and that means that you have to complete the previous 2 forges. If you haven't completed those 2 forges, Jaden found this out this week, is that if you didn't complete those 2, or at least one of them, then you weren't even able to get the Vex to drop you the quest.
I think that's fair. I think that's a fair
absolutely
thing.
Right.
Absolutely think that's fair, 100%. But like,
so then it was kill Vex on Nessus.
Exactly.
Yeah, like kill.
And was there any indication as to what it was to do it?
To do what?
Was there any instruction telling you to go to Nessus and kill Vex?
No.
Right?
No.
I didn't think there was.
It was exactly how Gofanon was. That's just like you kill a random fallen and the little thing drops from them.
But in a week that was already so busy, like I feel like for those players who have purchased Black Armory, you have a lot to do in a week.
Yeah, that's true.
Like milestone wise, well, this week is a full curse week. So those people who are grinding out for Malfeasance or for dredging titles or to get that solo Shattered Throne or what have you.
Or the drops from Shattered Throne for Ravensbane or Cursebreaker, whichever one they're tied to. There's drops that are specific to it.
Like
and like
or something.
There's already so much to do. And like halfway through the sentence, I'm realizing how hypocritical and weird I sound by saying like that's a lot to do in a week. There's a lot to do to just open a forge, and everything else feels like it has meaning behind it. It feels like it's an achievable goal. With Izanami Forge, I believe, like you were talking about it earlier, it's not really in-game content. It's literally a forge, like you were talking about that earlier. That it's just a way to get random rolls.
Right. And
that, I don't know. If you cut that quest in half, it would have been fine. But 12 steps, I mean, like, it almost cured my alcoholism.
Almost got this close.
Not quite.
It's a forge. There's 2 weapons that drop per forge, and there are sought after rolls of each one. You know, whether it's the hand cannon, whether it's the pulse rifle. I'm not sure that people are out there hunting a bow for a specific role, but there's been a lot of traffic on social media regarding the hand cannon and regarding the pulse rifle that I've seen at the very least. So it's a way for you to go in and have a chance at building a weapon. And once you've got the blueprint for it, whatever you want to call it, the schematic, whatever the terminology is, you got to go and kill a couple of things, get a couple of things going, clear a forge, you got the weapon. Yeah. Sweet, simple, to the point, easy. I got it. I can understand it. I can get behind it. The process to unlock it, good. I don't even have a third character. I'm dreading doing anything over again. All the
rest
way
in
through
peace.
Destiny 2. All of it. Going all the way back to the stories, through Warmind, through Osiris. I never want to touch that ever again on any character. There was a tweet that DMG was talking about, like, what kind of feedback do you guys want? I would prefer that if I unlocked something, it was done for all the characters with the ability to go back and replay missions if I so choose. And with Destiny 1, I could go back and play any story mission that I wanted, basically at any time.
Yeah.
I would take that and just have everything be done account-wide, 100%, because I don't want to do the adventures for the Tangled Shore again, to defeat all the wanted bounty people for Spider. I'm good, dude. I'm done. Did that.
Yeah.
Right.
It's one of those things also that, like, so like I said, I hit 650 this week by doing all the milestones for the previous 3 weeks and like raiding here and there. It's the climb is not that hard.
Yeah.
Unless you're like sub 600. And this week they made it infinitely easier to get to 600. Because like I said, I was running on my Xbox, and earlier before the show started, I made it to like 30 light levels in just a few hours of gameplay. It wasn't that long, but when I was sub 500 to now I'm like 520 and still haven't completed all the milestones on Xbox. At this point, I'm really like focusing on picking a lane, like picking a character lane. I might delete my other 2 characters because like having the like I know TBL. I see the look on your face, and we've discussed this before. But like having those other 2 characters up there makes me feel like there's stuff that I haven't done, and that I need to go and finish those things. If I take those things off of my plate entirely, no issue. I don't really like. I don't feel like there's much more I have to do than 1 character a week. There are some people like who are able to do 3 characters, and that's awesome. But right now, my mindset has turned to more like laissez-faire kind of gameplay, where it's just like, well, if I get it, it's fine. If I don't get it, it's also fine. I'm not a bad person if I don't do it on all 3.
How dare you not play on all 3 characters?
Exactly. Yeah.
No, I mean, I get it. And I don't want to put out the notion that there isn't a lot of stuff to do in Black Armory right now. There's a ton of stuff to do right now.
Yes.
Almost too much to get done in a week, and it's actually been a pretty easy grind. I'm almost 650 right now. I haven't set foot in the raid, and I think my Warlock is 646. Just now. My first 650 weapon was the Izanami Pulse Rifle, the Blast Furnace. And there's plenty of stuff to do. I still got milestones that I haven't touched. I haven't touched Gambit for the week. I haven't done any of the Vanguard stuff like strikes or the daily heroic story missions or anything like that. There's plenty of content to do in the game. And I would even argue that the forges, like Aura said, they're simple. I think they're pretty fun, and I think it's a nice little self-contained activity. I can get a frame, go do the challenges, head into the forge, craft a weapon. If I get the roll I want, awesome. If I don't, I go right back to Ada, buy another one. Boom, I'm back to doing it again. I've actually found myself doing that quite a bit over the past week or two, trying to get decent rolls of the weapons that have been available. And it's also a great power level grind. Once you, I think I said this in previous weeks, once you get to a level where you can start running the forge reliably, it becomes a really good way to raise your power. Like, you get armor drops from there that are 10 to 12 above your light. So it's fantastic for getting your light level up. I think it's great content. It's just the drag to unlock that content was...
The road to get there.
Yeah, that was absolutely ridiculous. Going through that 12-step quest, it was like 2, almost 3 hours of running through there. And they made some of the same mistakes that they did with the previous Forge Unlock quest in tying some of it to enemies out in the world space that everybody else is trying to kill at the same time. Like when you get to that 20 Minotaur step and you're just running around.
Dude, I had it like that.
Really?
That didn't take me more than 4 minutes.
Not at all.
Yeah.
So did you go do the adventure?
No, it was the
There's a cave on
You
Nessus.
the response to this. What was it? Nessus?
There's a cave on Nessus near the Exodus Black with 3 shanks on it. And if you run through there a little ways, you get to a Minotaur and 4 other Vex. You can kill that Minotaur, jump through the gate, wait 10 seconds. You have to kill the Minotaur and all those Vex. Jump through the gate, wait 10 seconds, jump back through the gate, murder the Minotaur after it spawns, kill all those Vex,
okay.
and then just keep that cycle rolling. You don't even have to keep going in. I know some people are like, no, keep going in. There's another Minotaur in there. That
Why?
just takes a little bit longer.
I didn't even do
But
that.
like, yeah,
Yes.
it's
Artifacts edge right below spawn. Kill the Minotaur off in the cave to the left. Kill all the ads in there. He spawns again in 10 seconds, if even less.
That's
Three
yeah.
more minutes, we're done.
I
That's
was
it.
bouncing between Artifact's Edge and the Lost Sector that was there. You can drop down, kill the Minotaur, Lost Sector, there's a Minotaur boss in there, kill him, warp right back. Usually by the time you're done with that, the Forge Saboteur spawns, and he counts too, so you kill him, kill the Minotaur on the cliff, right back into the Lost Sector. But a lot of people were trying to do the Artifact Edge thing, so they were just kind of sitting there, killing the Minotaur as soon as it popped up, kind of robbing the person behind them of getting a shot in. And it's the same sort of issue that we had with the high value target, the captain. People just coming in, blitzing that thing the moment it popped up when everybody else is trying to get it too. And it creates this sort of weird kind of competition between players in the world space, because you're no longer trying to fight this enemy, you're fighting other players who are trying to get this same enemy that only spawns, well, for the captain, in like two different world spaces. And I found that to be the same sort of issue here with the Minotaur thing. It didn't take too long to get it, but it was frustrating, you know? I think there was like an adventure you could run where there's like 10 Minotaurs that spawn in there, but
the initial time, the first time that I did it how Aura was talking about, and then the second time that I unlocked it with my Warlock, I did the adventure, because it's literally right in the beginning of the adventure. You have 4 Minotaurs. Kill yourself, restarts it.
Merry Christmas, kids.
Yeah, and you just keep doing that. It literally takes less than 5 minutes to do, which is what I'm going to do with my Titan as well.
Yeah, and but the thing is, that's so tedious. It's tedious to go through this, and that's only like what, the third step.
That's the third.
Is that the title of this episode?
It's so tedious. It's very tedious this time of year. And like after that, going through all the other steps, by the time I was done with it, I didn't want to play Destiny for the rest of the day. I was like, all right, I got this Forge done. I play one round of it to complete the quest there. I'm gonna go play Monster Hunter World or something for like the next day or so, because that's drained me, and I don't want to do it again on another character. Yeah. And so I guess my point here is that the content itself is fine. I'm enjoying the content, but man, was this a long, drawn-out way to get to the meat and potatoes of this this content release?
Which is unfortunate, because I personally think that the Izanami Forge is easily like the best one out of the 3 in terms of just how
Let's talk about that.
Is laid out. So you have the middle island where the Forge is sitting on, and then you have 2 separate islands on the left and the right, where if you have like a dedicated fire team, each person takes one island, and then you just, the people on the left and right islands, they save up a few batteries, toss it in the middle, and the dude that's in the middle tosses it at the Forge. It's fun. Like it's just easy, incredibly easy to go through. It goes by incredibly quick. Like it's
really
like,
fast. Yeah.
Faster than Gofanon and Volunder by miles. And then the boss, initially I was just using Whisper of the Worm on the boss, because it's just a giant Hydra that you have to unlock his shield by shooting these 2 little things on the side. So initially I was just using Whisper, and then there was rumblings in the Destiny Reddit to use Sleeper Sim because of the ricochet. So when you shoot the boss, the refraction beams hit the back of his shield, and then they deflect back onto him, and it deals like a buttload of damage. And it sure does. And it's super fun, and it's unfortunate that quest just drags it out like unnecessarily.
And I'm complaining about it, but once you get it done, it's just get out there, get it done, put in the work, get all that nonsense out of the way, and you'll have a pretty fun Forge. Yeah, maybe don't do it all in one sitting.
Yeah, if you start feeling like, man, this is awful, like take a minute, do some Gambit or something, play a match of Rumble, go for a walk. Or
I logged off. I logged off, and I went to go play Spider-Man, because they put the Raimi suit in Spider-Man. So I was like, everything is well with the world. I'm gonna go do that for a while.
There you go. What we needed. Yeah. So let's talk a bit about the Forge itself, because it is, of course, the newest Forge, the Izanami Forge. We recently learned that we actually have a 4th Forge coming, which kind of confirms some data mine stuff from the game. I I do agree. This is probably the best of the forges we've got thus far. It's the most
Mhm.
unique of the three of them, certainly in the world space, but with the extra little bits you have to do, you know, with the separated platforms, I think that was really cool. And I found myself, anytime I just want to run Forge, I go to the Izanami now. I used to just go to Volander because Volander was easy. But Izanami, it's pretty cool. I love that it's segregated, that it's got these 3 different spots. I love that there's at least a little bit of teamwork that they're trying to push for there, where, you know, you're supposed to separate your fire team. Clearly, you're supposed to have 1 person in mid, 2 people on the sides, murking their things, throwing the batteries up to the person in mid. But you actually don't really need to do that. If you just leave the batteries alone on the ground after like 15 seconds, they'll disappear and reappear in mid for some reason.
What?
Really?
Oh my god.
Don't even need to worry about that. Yeah, there's a weird glitch where, like, if you leave them alone for a little while on the sides, they just disappear and reappear in mid. So whoever's in mid just picks them up.
I was wondering how so many got to me, because I always play mid, and nobody was throwing them, and all of a sudden there was like 30 on the ground next to my feet. I was really curious as to why that was going on. Really cool thing is they don't cause damage when you throw them at enemies. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but I threw one at like a pile of those exploding Vex dudes.
Yeah.
And it just bounced off from like it just fell right at their feet. They were just like
dodgeball.
Did you seriously
like,
just
who
try?
throws a shoe? Honestly, like
Who throws a shoe? Honestly.
yeah, it was pretty it was neat. So,
I thought we had an understanding.
don't throw the balls at the enemies because they don't do anything.
If you melee an enemy with it, you apply melting point.
You do. It burns them.
Regardless?
Yes.
Yeah. Just hit them. Just melee an ad with it, and it's like applying melting point to them.
Which is weird because you don't get any of these batteries during the boss phase when that would actually be helpful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Weird stuff. But it's fun. Like, it's a fun little forge. I think visually it's the best looking forge. You know,
Yeah,
that's a
absolutely.
Cool planet. Better than a cave. So I'm going to ask you guys. So we've got 3 forges now. Rank them from top to bottom. Which ones do you guys enjoy the most, Dan?
It depends on what weapon I'm using, because if you use the Risk Runner, Go Fat is
That's
really fun.
That's
Yeah.
Because you just kill everything. You don't have to move, you kill everything. Wait, which one was that? The second one? Whichever one is
That
the
was the
fallen
second
one.
one.
Yeah.
That's the
That's
one
the
you want
second
to
one,
use Risk Runner with. I still think the first one was the hardest out of all of them.
Yeah.
Bullet spongy boss, kind of like Volstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Different sight lines, harder, more spread out and more aggressive combatants, even like with the fall with the little blue like projectiles going this way, going that way. Maybe they'll find you eventually. Like Cabal are hitting you in the face with their shield. They're bopping you in the air with their purple little jumpy shit that the Scions. They're like, it's so much harder. That's easily still the hardest
Colossus
one.
with a blinding missile because, of course, that's what the Colossus needed, Bungie.
Right.
Yeah. It's definitely more claustrophobic, especially like considering the size of the enemies in the area that you're trying to work in, which most people
Little ass heads, man. Give the Cabal bigger heads. Tiny heads.
Somebody needs to clip that.
Yeah, it's easily Izanami, Gofanon, Volander.
Yeah.
Really, I'm actually kind of surprised that so many people like the Gofanon Force. It's actually my least favorite of the 3. I think Izanami's the best. Volander I find pretty easy to go through. But Gofanon, if you're not using Risk Runner, I think you can run into some rather frustrating situations there in the Gofanon Forge with circle jerking servitors all circle shielding one another.
That'll get you if you're not careful. Yeah. The
Yeah.
triple immune. That'll be a thing.
I find the whole servitor boss thing of him teleporting you up to be a little bit frustrating. It's not really a problem if you burn him down fast enough, which is easy enough to do. But every now and again, when you're solo queuing into there, you'll just get people who don't burn him down quickly enough, so it just becomes this constant cycle of, I'm teleported. All right, let me reseat, get a shot in, 2, I'm teleported, and he's all over the place.
That's even super inconsistent too.
Yep.
Like to wherever you are on that map. Like it can happen to you anywhere. You don't have to be like near or anything. It's I don't know.
I've definitely had more success in Gofanon than I've had in Volander.
Really?
I've yet to fail a single one. I've yet to. I mean, outside of the first week when we weren't power leveled enough, and like I have yet to have a single. Even the blueberries that I've gotten, I'm such a high power level at this point. that I can mostly make up for anybody's shortcomings. And I've even had issues where if I'm struggling, I've had blueberries who picked up my slack. And like you said, when the bombs got teleported to middle, I had to grab them. That made it easier for me to not fail. All they have to do is kill things. All of a sudden, everything becomes my responsibility in the middle. That's easy enough for me to take care of. So I get to even, and I guess it's because I unlocked it rather quickly. And because of that, I figured that the people who had unlocked it as well probably know what they're doing. Probably not going to get a lot of people who have no idea what they're doing in order to. So, I don't know.
Yeah, as far as Gofanon goes, like, I had the issue with the servitors circle jerking each other with the immunity phase.
Yeah, it happens.
The first time that happened, I was like, all right, that's gonna be my focus. I usually, because blueberries, for the most part, tend to just tunnel vision on the boss, and they disregard the ads during the boss fight. So I made it my priority to, if I see a baby servitor in the map when we're fighting the boss, that's what I'm gonna go for before they start tethering one another.
It doesn't happen.
I always ran Risk Runner too, so it's been...
Risk Runner's fantastic for that forge. Like, that basically just allows you to turn your brain off and ignore most everything that's happening, because you're just unkillable and chaining lightning everywhere.
Also, it's a fantastic activity to get your Risk Runner masterworked, because I started that with 0-0, and it's masterworked already.
I have yet to get that catalyst to drop, dude.
Same.
And Risk Runner is my favorite gun in the game.
It's fun.
It's been my favorite exotic forever. Like, since the day I got it, I was, especially as a solo player, because it does so much mass damage. You kind of have to rely on a couple of things, but I have yet to be in an instance where I couldn't get it to proc. It's just always been a phenomenal weapon. But I'm always the guy who finds things, like using the Merciless in Crucible.
That was such a good call.
It's a good gun, and it's super fun in the Gofanon Forge. Our little baby Jalo.
Yeah.
Basically what it is, our little baby Supercell.
Any particular builds you guys run in Izanami?
Nothing too different from my normal.
Fire my gun until the boss. As play in the middle, it's become so. Yeah, it's become so rare that I even have to engage. I'm usually just trying to run and hide for my life, because you barely can control what goes on, because there's so many different ads that spawn. It gets pretty
hectic
between the Minotaurs with shields running around, the exploding, and then there's the two. I don't even know what I forget what they're called.
Cyclops.
Yeah, a few of those that pop up all over the place. So all I'm really doing is trying to run around and stay alive. I don't really even fire a weapon.
I have never disliked Cyclopses as much as I do now after playing Izanami. Let me tell you. Typically, if when I'm doing that with my hunter, I'm using Way of the Wraith. So I'm just consistently invisible, and the moment a Minotaur pops up, I just hit him with the melting point and hit him with the threat level. Or if I'm running my Warlock, Nezarec Sin with Devour, it is just delicious. Good.
My build's not really too different from my normal build. I finally got full armor set that's dedicated to like LMGs, so I've got like double machine gun reserves, like double machine gun scavenger, unflinching machine gun, and all that kind of stuff. So if I get one purple brick to drop, it's like 115 ammo. So I get to just run around all the time doing nothing but using Thunderlord. That's basically what I do for most PvE content now.
The most changing I've done is whenever there's a bounty for like 10 super kills during a forge. That's really when I do the most change, because I'm, as a hunter, I'm not. I mean, I guess you could run Blade Barrage now that I got shards, but I'll probably run Blade or Arc Strider instead, just for the 10 kills. I got shard. Let me tell you something about shards.
Tell me a story.
Turn up the mic.
Lean closer.
I was in a strike, and the most basic ass acolyte dropped shards of Galanor. The most basic red bar. I'm just gonna go over here, mosey on my shredder weapon gun. Basic ass acolyte dropped shards of Galanor for me. It doesn't get any more random, regular, basic bitch enemy than this dude who dropped shards for me. I also got the two-tailed fox, and I became a wayfarer all within a matter of a week. I didn't play Destiny 2 on PC for all of year one. So anybody there, Wayfarer, big deal. No, I didn't play Destiny 2 Year 1 until Warmind came out on PC. I was on console. So
Yeah.
Wayfarer actually is a bit harder to get when you didn't play for 12 months out of the year.
Mhm.
But yeah, I had a pretty good... I haven't even fired the two-tailed fox. I didn't fire a bullet out of it yet.
You don't need
But,
to.
yeah, the shards is pretty... It's weird. It's a weird exotic.
Yeah.
The way that
Mhm.
it manifested super. Because you'll wipe out an entire room and you'll get like 10% back. And I hit these dudes who were all chaining immunity to each other. And I killed one of them. Entire super.
Holy
And I
shit.
think it's because of actual connection of the blades to the enemy and splash damage incorporated. So since everything was immune, I hit with every blade that I threw.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what it seemed to charge it. I got my super. That was the only time I've ever completely refilled my entire super off of it. Other times I've gotten a bunch of kills and it's done. Sometimes I've gotten none. Unless you go into Mayhem. If you get a kill with it in Mayhem, the very next second you will have full super again.
I have seen
Yeah.
that. That is terrifying.
Yes, yeah. Yeah. Mayhem's not as fun as it used to be. Even for me with Blade, I'm like, this isn't fun. I've got the most no skill super ever over and over and over again.
Time
That's
to get that
fun.
7th column, Mora.
Some people
Yeah.
would
I
just
don't think I
take
can
that
get
and run.
well because of the amount of time it takes to get it off. You'll get Blade Barrage before you get your second or third Blade Barrage off. It's pretty easy to counter.
Oh, gotcha.
Unless you're Tether, because fuck Tethers.
Yeah.
I've been running Tether the last couple days just because I've run into people with shards. So I'm just
Shards,
like any like hidden corner where they can come out from, just bloop and just block them.
I've been running Spectral Blade because I've had the Gwizzin vest since I think it was like one of my earliest exotics to drop, and I just never used it because I was like, who's ever gonna use this super, right? And so lately I've been pulling it out and using it more in like PvE activities and stuff, and I'm really liking the Spectral Blades lately.
It's better now.
Yeah, way
better
better.
now.
Like connection, like it makes me want Arcstrider to be way better. Like with connection at least. Because yeah, it's I don't know. They got something really special there with that Spectral Blade. I feel like it's a really strong class, and if you play it right, you can just chain deaths and keep super forever. So I don't know.
Don't go into comp with it. They fixed the glitch with that one, right? Like, did they finally fix the glitch with the Gwyson
I
vest?
believe so.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Okay,
Yeah.
good. Thought that might have been in one of the more.
So
recent
you need
patches.
proper kills now before you proc.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need to just get one kill and then continually press the R2 button to get your super back indefinitely. Good stuff.
So,
I've been enjoying Mayhem. I like it.
What's up?
I was just saying I've been enjoying Mayhem. I like it.
Yeah, no.
We've had
absolutely.
2 weeks of it now. We're getting ready to have some Iron Banner, so hooray! Right? Hooray! Everybody happy for Iron Banner coming back? Some new armor, 2-year 1 weapons. How does that make you guys feel? How do those 2-year 1 weapons make you feel?
Yeah.
When you told me, because I didn't read the TWAB, when you told me that there were year 1 weapons coming back from Iron Banner, I was like, bro, you talking about like, I don't remember what year it was, but like Finale's Peril, like you talking about original OG?
Oh, I wish.
Destiny weapons coming back? And you're like, no, dude, like year 1 Destiny 2. And I was like,
oh.
They had weapons in Iron Banner in Destiny 2 year 1? It's like, wow. Really?
Yeah.
I don't care.
Yeah.
I haven't cared about Iron Banner in years. And I don't think this is going to change it for me.
Every month we go through this, it's just not. I don't know. They need
Is
to
it
do
a monthly event? It's not a monthly event, is it?
It's a monthly event. Yep.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
Every now and again they'll do it twice in a month, but it's usually like a month. It's a monthly event.
It's
Doesn't feel that special, does it? No, man, I feel the same way. I remember reading the TWAB, and then when they said we're gonna have some year 1 Iron Banner weapons returning, I was like, that could be cool. We could have Finale's Peril come back, although I think that was a Taken King weapon.
I think it was year 2.
Yeah. The year 1 hand cannon was a high impact one. That was
Finale's Peril
Timur's
was high
Lash.
impact. It's a 2-tap.
Go with
Timur's
Timur.
Lash. That's
I think it was
yeah.
Timur's Lash. That was the year 1 D1 Iron Banner
That's the
hand
one.
cannon. And no, it's like it's the hero's burden, the submachine gun, and like Krimmel's dagger, the Garbo high impact hand cannon. That's what's coming back with random rolls. That's what you wanted. That's what you asked for, Aura.
Yolder's hammer.
Why not? What a perfect time to do that, right? One of the most legendary machine guns from D1, Yolder's hammer. We know that we're bringing back in content from D1. It's been happening slowly over the past couple of months. That's okay. We're all right with that. We just got machine guns back in the game. Why not bring some old Iron Banner weapons from D1 back? It'd certainly be more exciting than what we've gotten thus far in D2.
Yeah. I mean,
Why do you go back to a failed weapon system to pull weapons to bring forward? I mean, I hate
you're not
to say
wrong.
it.
You ain't wrong.
God willing, Bungie probably hates me. Like, they probably know who I am and despise everything I say for
I got a
reasons like
message
this.
from
but
them earlier saying your friend Aura, he's on our list.
gotta get him off the podcast.
Yeah, that
For
guy.
real, like, let's take a failed weapon system and bring these weapons forward because what? Like, no.
It just needs to rework. Honestly,
Yeah.
I would like to see the numbers for how many people actually do Iron Banner.
It's
At this
probably
point.
low.
Yeah.
There's so many activities to be involved in.
Yeah.
In PvP alone, you've got comp, you've got quick play, you've got mayhem.
Rumble.
There's just a limited
Rumble.
player pool to select from, other than people going
Mhm.
in to do their bounties, to grab their coins, to grab their loot. Like, that might just be the way the entire game is. Like, I spent a good portion of a few days going and getting all the scannables on the EDZ and on Titan for no good reason. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't want to unlock another forge, so I'm going to go do the most brainless, mindless activity I can find, which is going and scanning a bunch of random items throughout the entire solar system. So it's like, people
Yeah.
play for different reasons, but without,
Yeah.
what are you going to tie into Iron Banner to draw people to it other than an armor set? And what could possibly roll on an SMG to make it relevant right now?
Yeah. I
Not a
think
lot.
the main reason why people were using Iron Banner recently is because like you were able to get power level drops from everything, right? And you're able to hold on to that until the beginning of the next season
Then
to give
plug
you a
that in.
boost
Yeah.
for the light grind. And now whether like that's like people playing the game, that's them juking the light system a little bit so that they can become world's first or whatever. And that's nothing like at
Which
this
they
point.
weren't, by the way. People who got to 650 first were not the first. Well, the majority of which were not the first to clear the.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But like it's one of those things where that's a system in the game now that has rewards that if you're willing to go get them can help you later on down the line. But right now they don't really have anything on them that feels useful that you can't get from somewhere else.
Which, before anything else, Fitzy over on Twitter mentioned that he had like hit 650, and then now it was time to start hoarding powerful bounties and stuff like that.
Yep.
To which DMG responded that they're going to be taking a look at those systems in the future, so things like that might not work next season.
And they shouldn't.
Yeah.
They shouldn't, but so things like that might not work next season. So you're saying I have no reason to play Iron Banner now?
That's exactly
Yeah.
what I'm saying.
None. Saying,
If that hand cannon rolled with Outlaw Rampage, or which I think is the going, like that's the going god roll for just about everybody, is Rampage
Yeah.
Outlaw on any weapon,
Outlaw
whatever it is.
Yeah.
Is that going to take away your Lunasal, You're Not Forgotten? Is it going to take away whatever the new Forge hand cannon is B1 crazy
No.
about? Is it going to take away the original Leviathan hand cannon, raid hand cannon that everyone goes crazy about? I can't think of the names, forgive me. The answer is probably no.
Midnight Coup.
Midnight Coup, thank you.
Yeah.
Which is my go-to. And you'd think a guy who has probably 10,000 kills
Same.
that would know what the hell it's called. But it's like, I'm still using Warmind loadouts, or just after Warmind into Forsaken loadouts for the majority of what I'm working on. How many more does this comes down to weapon design, honestly, or a pinnacle You know, I got the loaded question this past week. Really fun weapon to use.
It is.
When the magazine's full. Super fun gun to use.
When the magazine's full.
I'm 4 games away from getting the breakneck. I just refuse to play Gambit solo. Sorry, guys, I can't do it. I refuse to play Gambit
solo. If you're
on
PlayStation, I'd help you, but
4 games away from it. So it's like, I guess we could say what Iron Banner's missing is some kind of a pinnacle weapon.
Yeah, absolutely. Or weapons. I feel like an activity like that deserves more than one. Especially because I personally don't run Iron Banner anymore. It sucks that I don't, because D1, that was an activity that I enjoyed running with my clan, and we would do Destiny Clan Wars stuff, try to beat other clans out for points, just for bragging rights, right?
Yeah.
But right now, there's not really a reason to. If you tied pinnacle weapons in, that'd be pinnacle weapons that were meaningful to how the game plays now. That'd be excellent.
An exotic Yolder's hammer.
Yeah, or something. And it's so funny because here's the thing: Iron Banner weapons used to be basically pinnacle weapons.
At least one per season. The Caloric Dragon.
We used to get God roll
pulse.
Awesome weapons from them. I'm looking at Dim right now at my database of Iron Banner weapons. I see one of my favorite weapons from the history of Destiny, my Finales Peril, with Outlaw reactive reload rifled barrel. I'm seeing my Yolder's hammer from way back in year 1, my Ephrodite spear. All of these guns were desirable back in D1, and they generally all sold with usually he would come with a god roll every time he came around of at least one weapon. You had the Clever Dragon. That was a highly sought after pulse rifle for a while.
Clever Dragon. I called it Clorox Dragon. That's what people called it.
The Clorox Dragon. Hey, it's like bleach. It's like making your enemies drink bleach.
It was very toxic. Apparently, I mean, I'm still a Hawksaw guy, but
Hawksaw was great.
Yeah.
Shoot, even the scout rifles, like the Distant Star, were all really great weapons. And that's something that Iron Banner's really missing right now. I completely agree with you, Dan, when you say people were running this to kind of build up bounties. They're running Iron Banner to build up the powerful drops that they can make use of later. They're not running it because they want the armor. They're not running it because they want the weapons. And that seems to be a hugely recurring problem here with the Iron Banner in D2, whereas in D1, it was the source of some of the most desired weapons in the game. And that kind of brings me to the weapons that they're bringing back this time around, with the Hero's Burden, like Aura said, LOL SMG, and Kremel's Dagger, which is a high-impact hand cannon that was garbage in year 1, and outside of maybe a lulzy Outlaw Rampage or whatever load here in D2 is probably going to be garbage. Why they didn't bring back something? We've kind of got a deficit of 144 RPM hand cannons right now. Some of the faster firing ones in the kinetic slot right now. Why not bring something back like that? And I don't know. Iron Banner definitely has a loot problem right now, where it's just not very interesting stuff. And I know I personally, whereas Iron Banner used to be my favorite PvP mode, I have no reason to run it, and I haven't run it for the past 4 or 5 banners.
Yeah.
No reason to do it. That's sad. Yeah. A little sad.
So this is also a conversation that Aura brought up earlier with Say No to Rage's tweet about pinnacle weapons. If you would be so kind to introduce everyone to the idea, Aura.
So Say No to Rage says on Twitter, exotic perks from guns like Graviton, Merciless, and Sunshot should just slowly roll out as pinnacle perks on curated rolls. They aren't worth using as exotics, so let's get some use from the perks. Onslaught is better than Ride the Bull as an example. And I kind of agree. Now, Merciless is still a useful, very strong weapon.
Yeah.
It's your baby.
It's an old weapon, which I think is part of the reason why nobody really likes to use it. But Merciless is very strong. But Graviton, Lance, and Sunshot, I'm on board with the fact that they're most likely never going to get used again. The meta has shifted. There are other pulse rifles, especially with the new Forge pulse rifle. Even the new Nightshade that you can get, which I acquired today.
Yes.
But even the rolls you can get from Zavala just through the loot pool itself are going to unseat and be a better option for you than a Graviton.
Yeah.
I could see that being a case, moving them from exotic perks to legendary. give us more broken things, and let us figure out ways to make even more things broken, more so than kind of like, I don't know. At some point, I don't envy the Bungie staff for having to come up with weapon perks.
Absolutely.
My brain can't wrap itself around what it would take to create some of these new perks that would be worthwhile and worth using. So I don't think their job is easy to do.
No.
But at some point, does that make sense? Like we gotta move forward with the perk.
Yeah.
The perks itself.
Yeah. And like, I mean, what he's saying there, like the spirit of what he's saying there is right. Like if there's pieces that you haven't played with for a while, like remind us why those perks are good. Remind us why we liked those guns in the first place. But in like adding them into the pool, it wouldn't hurt, especially like a couple seasons removed from them. I can't remember the last time I fired a Sunshot. I think it was during Faction Rally, because I was trying to get it from get the catalyst from Future War Cult. I think that was the last time I used it. Outside of that,
but
it looks nice. I like how it looks.
Taking perks like that are tied to an exotic and slotting it on a legendary creates, I don't want to say an imbalance, but it just, if those weapons aren't in use as it is, putting those perks into a legendary just further decreases the want to use those exotics, and
that's when you take them back to the drawing board and create new ways
of improving the
weapon.
But why not do that from the get-go instead of giving legendary?
Listen to them one thing at a time here, pal.
I don't know.
No, you're right. You're absolutely right. But
those weapons have definitely been outshined by everything else. But
what if Sunshot dropped a blinding grenade that also was a solar grenade at the same time on crit damage on top of the
holy shit?
What if Graviton did damage over time to the things around it upon bursting? All you're talking about doing is making what made those weapons exotic, putting them in legendary, and giving a reason for these weapons to become even more standout stars. And there are a million. I can create a million crazy exotics. I can create the perks for those, no problem. It's trying to find ways to make legendary weapons more special, where it starts to get a little bit redundant. The go-to roles right now are Outlaw Rampage, and there's nothing that's really come across that's going to unseat that. You get a couple of Feeding Frenzy Rampage, Feeding Frenzy Kill Clip here and there, but back in the day, this goes back to the Gunsmith when you had the three frames you could pick up. There was a scout rifle, I can't remember the name of it for the life of me, but it had a counterbalance, and it was both of the balances you get. Counterbalance, and I forget what the other one is. Somebody help me out.
Counterbalance.
One's left to right, one's up and down. You could get both of them on the gun.
Right. Hand-laid stock, I think.
Hit like a Mack truck and didn't move. But those perks are fallen by the wayside because people want the damage over the ability to hit their shots easier. Nothing's going to undo that. Perfect balance. That is it.
Yeah. Perfect balance. Right.
On the Dis 47.
It was either I might have been the 45. It was the slower fire. I mean, I think it was available on both, but it was a slower fire rate scout rifle.
Dis 43.
The Dis 43 was the highest, their highest impact one.
So you get that with perfect balance to counterbalance. The reticle didn't move.
Yeah.
Very valuable, but would I take Rampage Outlaw over it? Yeah.
But I mean, that's been the case since Destiny 1, except that in Destiny 1 it was Luck in the Chamber.
I hated that perk.
Oh, me too.
Yeah,
I mean that's been
a perennial problem.
Issue. Yeah, that's been the issue with both games. It's like, okay, well, Destiny 1, either go for an Aes Luna with Luck in the Chamber and Rangefinder and what's the other, Rifled Barrel, or get a Palindrome with the same exact perks. Like the variety just has never been there. And this probably goes back to something that I've been kind of saying for like forever. It's like, why are we still just using like these kinds of archetypes of weapons on a space shooter? Why can't we get like
railguns?
I mean, we have Prometheus Lens and Cold Heart, which are super fun.
Yeah,
those changes to the weapon economy have made them a bit more ineffective.
Which, by the way, we need legendary versions of trace rifles.
Yeah, absolutely.
No, but I mean, like
legendary versions of grenade launch. Oh.
I mean, like, it's a space shooter. We need like more alien type weapons. This is Bungie that we're talking about. They did this in the past with Halo. Like, you can pick up like grunt weapons or.
I've
Covenant
wanted a
weapons
hive
and
boomer
stuff like
since
Yeah.
damn Crota with the damn hive boomers on either side of the tower.
that. I am right there with you. No, yeah,
No
like,
surprise there.
Give me a worm gun beam eyeball-y Cyclops thing, man. Like,
yeah, I don't know. We
Cyclops
just need
eye.
more variety in like the weapon types instead of just, I don't know, the
Yeah.
same, bullets.
Mhm.
They've slowly branched out and, dipped their toe in the water with stuff like that. We see that with like Anarchy. With when they branched out with Queen Breakers, and now we have the whole linear fusion class. We've got trace rifles, but they definitely taken the slow roll with that. We're still very much relying upon the same weapons we had.
you go back to the beam rifle and Halo days is what you're talking about, man.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I got you.
But it's it's incredibly subtle, and that process has been incredibly frustrating because it started out with swords. You get 3 swords,
Mhm.
and then now a whole game later we have different variety of swords. Then you
And
started off
bullets.
with sidearms, which you started off with one sidearm, and then slowly there was another one, which was the Vastian dynasty.
Yep.
And
Mhm.
now in Destiny 2, machine guns were taken away, and we started off with Hammerhead, and then Avalanche was added. So we only have, I don't know, the weapon design choice right now is just, or like the variety is just so low.
Yeah.
It
I
is.
think we're starting to see a bit more of that with the new bow coming in with some dark energy associated with it, some damage over time. We've seen it with Thorn, which while it was a projectile, it was a little bit of a different. I don't know if you ever actually fired it into the ground and saw that it was like a legit Thorn.
Yeah.
Kind of cool. I'm there with you, but like, what if some of these weapons only work if they're in the hands of the actual enemy? So in order for us to get them, we actually like cut the hand off a Dreg and carry on the hand, which is carrying around the weapon to get it to fire. Like, does that make sense? We could do something like that.
Yeah.
Hold
This
on,
sounds-
drag hand.
Bungie, hire me. Like, let's talk, dude. We got this.
This reminds me of something that I saw once in a Schwarzenegger movie, The Sixth Man, where he just cuts off the hand and carries it with him, puts it on the like little scanner thing, and that's the only thing he needed it for.
It's so funny. But yeah, I don't know. It's kind of frustrating when they introduce a new weapon archetype and it's just literally like one, and then the next season they'll introduce another 2 into the loophole. I just wish there was a little bit more variety in the weapons. And by the way, the energy slot is just incredibly crowded right now.
Yeah.
Like
It is.
there's so much in the energy slot that needs, I don't know, this power and kinetic just need a little bit more in there. Like,
Yeah.
I have 24 crooked fangs. I refuse to delete them.
That's
I'm
a
just
lot
going to
of
keep all of
fangs.
them because there's so limited amounts of things that can drop in these areas. I think you hit it right on the head. There's a decent amount of variety in the kinetic spot, but for power weapons, there really isn't a whole lot going on right now.
It's still mind-blowing to me that we got the return of machine guns with the rich history that Bungie had with them, and we've got all of what, 3?
Yeah, there's
Thunderlord, Hammerhead, Avalanche,
and that's it. We've gotten 3, and that ain't it, Chief. I don't know why. I don't know why we couldn't have pulled from the rich, vast history of machine guns that we had back in D1 if we were trying to get that class out. Yeah. Give me my BTRD.
Like, don't get me wrong. I think that Bungie has a fantastic art team, and whenever they put out new weapons, there's always like a weapon that always feels great. Like the blast furnace, for example, that's a fantastic pulse rifle. There's always those standout weapons. It's just, I don't know, when you come from like having Yoler's hammer, Quillam's terminus, oh my god,
BTRD, come on, man.
BTRD.
No. It was literally my favorite. If Materia.
Oh my god,
Wrath the Machine. That heavy.
Holy Song of Your Ute.
Song of Your Ute, yeah.
Song of Your Ute.
Baron's Ambition.
Silver Dread.
Silver Dread. My personal favorite, the zombie apocalypse.
Zombie Apocalypse.
Yeah, that was a good
WF
one.
24/7 or
BTRD
something
was
like
my
that.
jam, my Jimmy Jam.
Dude, that was the best
Yeah.
overall legendary machine gun. It had the best mixture of impact, range, stability, all of that. Beautiful weapon. B-Turd was the best.
The B-Turd.
Yeah, there's so much there, and I can understand a desire to not want to pull maybe a bunch of stuff back from D1 to
Right.
not reuse those assets. But here's the secret: you're reusing assets anyway. Just do it.
If there was one element of or one set of weapons to pull, wouldn't it be light machine guns?
It would be.
Yeah.
Wouldn't that be the go-to one that you would pull from? Be like, these were masterpieces of their time. They fit perfectly into what we're doing right now. We're reintroducing them anyway.
Just do it. Just take them all
Iron
over.
Banner's coming out.
Iron
We don't
Banner
have any
was
weapons for it.
Iron Banner was particularly known for a couple of really good LMGs.
Give him an SMG, Tom.
Guys, what if? So the last forge we open, right? And then just all of a sudden, it's able to roll anything from Destiny 1.
Don't say that, because it's not going to happen. And I'm just going to be mad.
See, now I'm
don't
mad
put
already.
that out there.
I'm mad already, dude.
Everyone's mad now.
I'm mad already,
Because
dude.
That's never going to happen, and I wish it would.
You know
Dude.
what else is upsetting though? You know what else is upsetting is that I think the forge system that they have right now with the weapons is solid.
It
Like,
is.
it's great.
It is.
It's like, hey, you want a different version of the weapon? Go craft it.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we get that with the Curse of Osiris weapons?
Why was that? There were forge weapons.
Yeah.
Why couldn't we forge
weapons.
them?
because Osiris wasn't completed. Because
Yeah.
it wasn't done.
That wasn't done.
Yeah.
Some of those weapons are still half decent. The SMG,
Yeah.
one of the two SMGs is actually very good.
West
Soul
of Sunfall
Pariah.
is pretty good. Yeah, Soul
Yeah.
Pariah was one of them.
They're not awful, but
I love the hand cannon you just West of Sunfall.
West of Sunfall. That thing is super good.
So fun. So fun.
Man, god damn it, Dan. Thinking about that. I'm gonna be watching the next. So the next one is like Niobe Labs is what, January 8th. I'm gonna be watching if we get like a 40 gig update on January 8th. I'm gonna be going through that database. Like, did they do it? Did they add in a bunch of D1 stuff?
Just DM me and say thank you.
Okay, you'll get a thank you cake from me.
does anybody know what this is even supposed to be?
They said it's not a dungeon. So we know it's not that.
That's as far as we know. It's considered an event.
Which, by the way, thank you. Thank you for coming out and saying that, because
Yeah.
if that date rolled around and Niobe Labs dropped and it was just a little event to unlock a forge, holy
Yeah.
smokes, the salt would have outmatched the ocean.
What other things are determined are called events? Are forges events?
Forges. I think the initial release of Forges seemed to be an event
Yeah,
because they're on the calendar.
right.
I think anything that you look on that roadmap and see on the road ahead, that is considered an event more so than just a sustainable thing.
All right,
Right,
so
right.
over under on how many lost sectors we have to do backwards in order to unlock Niobe Labs.
All of them.
I don't want to think about it.
No, we gotta think about this. This is what we get paid to do.
Yeah.
We don't get paid to do this. This is what we're getting paid to do.
You get paid?
No. We over under on what are some stupid silly things like
Yeah.
We know that the whatever the next thing is going to be, it's going to be like it's going to have to be. I think Civics is going to be the last boss. It's going to be Fallen related. So fucking just go through all Fallen forges and gather some more ether.
What if it's on Mars?
No, I think it goes back into
Because people have already glitched into the forge that it unlocks. I think
Okay.
it's called the Berguzia Forge,
Yeah.
and I think it's in the EDZ. Yeah,
yeah.
Okay.
if I recall.
I don't know.
so many times you gotta clear the drain. You gotta clear the drain 7 times. Nobody knows where to go in the drain because it's 7 different tunnels
Yep,
to get to the end boss. And the end room isn't even where the boss hangs out. So
got
like 5 clears of the drain.
Yeah.
We can't bake cookies for Devrim because that'll be over by the time the DLC, because that's
Yeah.
not a thing.
Which
Well, dude,
probably
here's what it is. I got it. It's gonna be like destroy 10 fallen tanks.
Ooh.
Yep.
Oh my god.
I'm telling you right now. Anywhere in the solar system, but it's gonna be like 10 fallen tanks.
Anywhere in the solar system, meaning you can go 2 places.
Oh no! You have to complete that nightfall. You have to complete the Scourge Nightfall.
Oh yeah.
Exodus
In
crash?
1 damage phase.
Yeah.
No, damage phase.
The dumb one. The one that's like super tiered. You just have to like keep getting like sucked into the blueness. That's what I'm gonna say from now on.
Sucked into the blueness.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a that Nightfall is basically just Exodus Crash, and like nobody calls it out for being that. That's what that Nightfall basically is. It's a time-gated boss, or rather a health-gated boss. The one against the Scorn dude.
Yeah.
Fanatic.
Against
Yeah.
Hallowed Lair.
It's basically just Exodus Crash, and nobody calls it out for being Exodus Crash.
Except that now Exodus Crash is one phaseable.
Can you one phase it? I haven't gotten it in like months, so.
Yeah.
Well, oh well. It's probably going to be something tedious to unlock to unlock Niobe Labs and then to unlock.
It's going to be 50 steps.
50 steps. We're just taking it right on up.
You'll have to unlock all the special crests.
Okay. Oh man, wouldn't that be crazy if it required that you have all the emblems from the 3 previous forges?
That actually, I don't know.
Oh,
that might be a
don't
thing
have
that I
any
do
of
next
those.
week, just in case.
Oh no!
Because I can
kids.
actually see that as a thing.
Gotta have all the emblems to unlock the final forge. Go
Yeah.
get busy. Go
They've
do
never
that
locked
now.
anything else behind cosmetics, have they?
Well, I mean,
You'd have to obviously you have to complete them.
Yeah.
yeah. Well, there's.
I'm
what do
sticking
you
to my
get?
tank thing, dude. You got to kill 10 tanks.
What do you get for what do you get for having the crests and unlocking them in Volander? Right.
I think
now?
you just get an emblem.
You just get an emblem.
I think so.
Oh man, I don't know. I mean, there could be a first for everything in that instance.
Yeah.
You don't know.
I just hope whatever Niobe Labs is that's just what we have to do in order to unlock.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Niobe Labs, that event, if it's just going to be a one-off thing too. Like if you're only going to be able to compete in it once. I'd imagine not if it's on the content roadmap.
Yeah, because there's things that we still need to do and gather to unlock the mysterious box.
Yep.
And it's I think it's
Was there a third key yet?
I think that's where it's gonna
There's
be
a key
located,
for every
because-
forge, and then there's a black armory key that you need.
Right, but the nuke forge didn't have a key, or I didn't get it.
did.
It has
It
one.
does.
It
has
did.
one.
It has one.
It's up on the pinnacle. Like there's 2 pinnacles next to the islands that you can shoot from the middle.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's quick and easy.
Like yeah.
'Cause from what I've seen in the database, you're gonna have to forge the new key. You get like the black armory key mold, and then you have to do something to actually craft that key
Okay.
for the box.
40
So-
Minotaurs.
4.
Yeah. Pins in chat, Pins Halo in chat says, well, in the Black Armory papers, Project Niobe was an experiment to make the weapons more deadly on the spot by phase transitions. What if Niobe gives us weapons that we can rotate elemental damage or perk sets?
You know what? It could be that option that's on Black Armory weapons, where there's an extra setting
The
there
Radiance
next to
option?
mods, the Radiance option. That could be what this is about.
Like
Yeah.
like the continuous fit parallel and face or whatever.
Yeah.
From the raid. But I mean
Could be.
that says it changes it to its default appearance.
Right.
So I don't know if it's
I thought that just made it go from like a what is it, a Badlander shotgun or whatever to like the normal, not NX47283TD version to like the regular vanilla. I don't know, dude.
Not a
Mhm.
clue.
It's also there's so much going on within it that it's almost kind of hard to follow if you're not 100% paying attention and dedicated to reading it, which I am
Yep.
not.
Yeah. I need to
But-
go back through on Ishtar and read it.
When we kill the fallen Minotaurs and the Vex tanks to unlock the forge,
Vex tanks now.
That's how
Vex-
it's going to be 10 Vex tanks and 4 Fallen Minotaurs. It's going to be awesome, dude. You guys are going to love it.
Vex tanks.
It's
Terrifying.
going to be great. It's
I
going to
want
be
them
great.
to be as
Horrifying.
tall as a building
And alive like the Vex.
and alive.
It's gonna be Panoptes.
Oh, no.
Please, Papa.
Have you guys seen? I just recently published this video over on the Planet Destiny side of things. With the draw exotic quest for the last word coming in January 29th, it looks like that we're going to hear about the Thorn in that quest.
Yeah, I remember seeing that, and I remember some other things that talk about Thorn or potentially dropping in an upcoming DLC
Yeah.
that's coming out in a couple months.
Yeah, there were rumors that Thorn will be dropping in Joker's Wild, but in the database right now, if you go in and you look up the Drifter and then you look at interactions with the Drifter, you can see the dialogue or like the text dialogue that appears when you're turning in a quest, and they send you in a couple of missions. One is called the Damnation, where you have to go to Titan and stop a Vex ritual, in which you find an artifact, like a hive artifact, and he sends you out on another couple of other two. This one, the one that caught my attention, is called the Conversation. So there's a preview window on Destiny Tracker that you can see this mission, where you see this specific knight called Enkar, and he's a hive weapons master, and he's holding this big corrupted like hive. It's a weapon that we haven't seen before, but the barrel of the weapon he's holding is straight up the barrel of Thorn. And there's a couple of things that you recover from there, and one of them on the little item preview screen is a Titan helmet with a Thorn dagger next to it. And for the people that don't know, who aren't too familiar with the lore, Dredgen Yor was Reza Lazir, who was a Titan. So there's just a little bit more proof that down the line, we're most likely going to see Thorn come back. But I was talking to my bud, Ashen, and he put the fear on me.
Yeah.
He put the fear. He was like, well, what if it's not Thorn? What if you get the weapon that he is actually holding? Because Bungie has already done that in the past. They've changed a D1 exotic entirely. And I'm like, which one? He's like, do you not remember that Crimson is basically Red Death? So I'm like,
It is.
no, they wouldn't do that to Thor.
You can't have it.
So yeah, there's a big possibility that we might either see Thorn or a new version of Thorn down the line. So
Another cursed weapon.
Yeah, another weapon of sorrow. So yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, if they change it, I'm gonna be mad.
Do you really think they would bring... Look, I know Bungie is dedicated to making crazy decisions and overpowered things now, but do you really think you would get a usable Thorn pack in D2? That ain't happening, Chief. That ain't gonna be it.
Oh man. So this should be interesting. We should be seeing more of that on the 29th of January.
Which I guess would also kind of explain why that quest is happening so late into the month of January, so that it can kind of roll into Joker's Wild. Still not happy about that, by the way. I don't want to wait until the end of next month to get my hands on the last word.
Yeah.
Can't wait for that quest to be 2 steps, and it turns out that the new Forge took longer to unlock than the Thorn did.
Yep.
Like, here, get this bounty. Go talk to this guy. Got it. Done.
There you
Here's
go.
your gun. Cool.
Just like Thunderlord.
Neat.
Yeah.
So-
Well, I have a couple of questions
okay.
before we go into questions tonight. How are you guys liking the Dawning? What's your favorite bit?
I love
Because
it.
I don't think we've talked since.
But
I
I
love
get
it.
enhancement cores from cookies.
I like getting enhancement cores from cookies as well. I've had a lot of fun with the Dawning. I think it's actually, this is probably the best Dawning event we've gotten thus far in Destiny. Certainly in Destiny 2. I think all that we got last year was what? Snowballs and strikes? And in the tower where people could throw them at you and slow you down for no reason.
Aura, there's no snowballs and strikes this time.
Yeah,
Just show
it's been a
strokes.
pretty good thing in my opinion. I'm a little let down at the fact that snowballs don't come out of grenade launchers. I feel like that would have been kind of like Fortnite. I think that would have been kind of like a cool thing to do. But no snowballs and strikes is good. Snowballs in one. I think they're only in one area in the tower. I think they're only in the center square
just in
area.
the
Yeah,
center.
in the main hub.
And that's also a good thing. I still managed to get snowballed by random people, and I still snowball them.
Yep.
But the dawning's just been fun. It's been rewarding for things that you do, no matter what you do.
Mhm.
I've not had to go out of my way for anything other than to deliver cookies to somebody to get random rewards, whether it's masterwork
Yes.
cores, whether it's stuff I'm just going to lead anyway. I've got a couple of God Roll avalanches.
Mhm.
Out of
Yeah.
them, by the way,
Yeah.
I got a Rampage Feeding Frenzy extended mag
That's the one.
avalanche that annihilates things from the dawning. It's been a very good event.
Yeah, it's pretty benign. I deleted the Slay quest immediately
Why?
because I
This
don't
man
want
is
it.
a Grinch.
This
I
man
told you I
is
don't
the
want it.
Grinch. He is the Grinch.
I said in the PD group chat earlier this week something about the term glimmer trails just gives me the chills.
That was a good
But-
conversation. I like that. one.
Excellent.
Yeah, but like everything else, like making the cookies, making the right cookies, making the wrong cookies, all of them have been like super nice, super
Yeah.
excellent. The only thing that I'm missing is actually the hockey rink in the tower where the soccer ring was. But
Right. Yeah.
that's not a
I forgot about
make
that.
or break. Mm-hmm. That's not a make or break though.
No, I think it's been a really enjoyable event thus far. And just to build on what Aura said, I think this is, I don't know if I want to say the perfect event, but it's been great because you can do basically anything, any activity you want, and you're building stuff towards participating in the Dawning event itself. Ava Levante, of course, has returned to the tower. It's great to have her back. And she's actually the source of some powerful gear for you. She has her own like powerful drops that you can get. She's got her little weekly drop. She's got some bounties that you can go and pick up from her. And I love that you can just go into any bit of content, build towards your ingredients, bake some cookies, and deliver those for some randomized rewards, including that new LMG with different rolls every time you get it. I think this has been a fantastic way to handle a seasonal event in Destiny. And really, this is kind of up there with the Festival of the Lost this year. Although I think I enjoyed this a little bit more than the Festival of the Lost. I will say I was a little intimidated by that Sparrow quest when I saw that you have to deliver 120 goodies to finally max it out. But once I had made all of the recipes, and doing that gives you the masterwork version of Ava's Holiday Oven. Giggity.
So wholesome.
It's so wholesome. I love it. It's beautiful. That wonderful old lady. But after I had made all of the recipes, I basically stopped paying attention to things and just went off and, completing my milestones and my challenges for the week. And I checked in the other day, and hold on, let me take a look at what I've got in there. I came back to take a look, and suddenly I had 796 Essence of Dawning. just from running around and doing stuff, just playing content, going and playing Mayhem, playing Gambit, getting my bounties done for the week, going and doing the Nightfall and stuff like that. So I've just been going through and spamming cookies and delivering those for all kinds of rewards, and I think it's been great. This has definitely been the best Dawning, in my opinion, that we've ever gotten, and I'm looking forward to jumping on and delivering the rest of these things so I can finish maxing out that very silly Sparrow. Leave my glimmer trail everywhere.
Was
Everyone
was
can see
Ava
it.
always this old? I feel like she's gotten older since she left.
She has not aged well.
I think it's just better graphics showing you exactly how old she is.
PC graphics. Okay.
Yeah.
It was a long walk to that tower.
Oof.
Long walk.
Walking for over a year. It took her a year to walk from the old tower to the new one, even though the new one's like right next to the old tower. Sheesh. It's great though. I've enjoyed the dawning.
Yeah.
I think this has been fun, and going out and trying to find the different ingredients and all that kind of stuff, cooking up the recipes and delivering it. This has been cool. I like it.
Who has been the most giving NPC when it comes to making cookies? Like
Pay
either from
attention.
rewards or like masterwork cores
That's
or
not fair.
enhancement cores.
It's kind of hard to tell because I just keep making stuff for Zavala and Shax because they're right next to each other, and I don't have to go anywhere else to deliver things.
I think just from what I was doing, I was ending up with stuff for EDZ. God, my brain is so fried. Devrim.
Yeah.
So like, I'm gonna pick him because I think whatever I was working on, I just happened to get the ingredients to deliver cookies to him. But I don't know that there was actually a difference between any of them. Some people on Reddit were saying some things, social media was saying some things. I like all things I kind of expect it was all just basic Destiny RNG.
Yeah. I just go to the Drifter because it's right next to you, right next to her.
Yep,
Yeah.
you can just walk right back and forth.
Yeah, just make a bunch of fucking dark chocolate cookies for him and claim whatever she needs to give. I maxed out the Sparrow as well.
Gross.
And you love it. Shut up.
Oh, Grinch Dan.
The only thing that annoys me about the Sparrow is that it can't side swipe.
Oh yeah, that big old.
Oh, and the
thing.
fact
Because
that
you'll
leaves
spill
one
all that
glimmer.
glimmer everywhere.
Yeah, that whopping one glimmer.
Yeah, that whole
Totally worth it, right?
Better than none.
That's true.
Glimmer load.
nugget. That glimmer nugget.
Little glimmer trail.
More of a dingleberry, but what if it stuck to it and like had to you had to shake it off?
Oh my
God,
god, why?
Not what we were looking for there.
You just have
Yeah,
to bank
that's
real
right.
hard.
There you go. Watch it fly and hit the person behind you. Oof.
Oh my
Bungie
god.
hates me.
Oh,
No, but
they
this
love you
is-
for that though.
They hate me.
I think they appreciate it.
Yeah.
It's been good
Oh,
though. I
man.
think this has been great, and I love that this is that this entire dawning thing with Ava, if you choose to do it, has just kind of been like an extra thing on top of your normal grind. It's been good, very good.
But yeah. Outside of that, we have a couple of questions from our audience.
Right on.
So we have, what would be your all-star loadout from all D1, D2 guns? This is from Warlock Bingo Club.
Oh wow. You guys go first. I got to bring up Dim.
I'm gonna go Fatebringer.
Mm-hmm.
I think Fatebringer has to be a part of it. If we're gonna go with PvE, I feel like I'm gonna go Fatebringer, Ikelos shotgun, and I guess I have to go with Whisper of the Worm in my heavy slot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I've been spending a lot more time with sniper rifles lately, convincing myself that I can hit shots, and that's gone a long way with the game plan itself. So I feel like that's going to be, if I was going to pick a go-to loadout, I just don't see how you can. I don't see how Fatebringer's not a part of it. I think it might be the best gun that Destiny's ever created.
What about Vision
Yeah.
of Confluence?
That's with Destiny 1. That was my go-to weapon for different parts. If we're talking about oracles and we're staying all the way in the back in Vault of Glass, Fatebringer's not going to do a damn thing. I'm all the way back there.
Yeah.
And neither is the Ikelos shotgun. So I'm rocking the Whisper of the Worm. I'm not going to have enough ammunition. So the Vision of Confluence was my second. That would have been the second weapon I would have mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm with you. I think Vision of Confluence was a masterpiece as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a pretty good list. Fatebringer, of course, is an incredible choice. That's one of the best primaries we've ever really had, if not the best overall primary that we've ever really had. Which is why they keep trying to recreate it with guns like Midnight Coup and
Nature of the Beast.
yeah, Nation of Beasts and all that kind of stuff. I think it's really interesting that you picked 2 D2 weapons to put on that list. There you go, chat. See, D2's got some good stuff in there.
Ikelos shotgun, you can't deny, even with the change to trench barrel,
it's still
yeah.
good.
it's still a monster.
Yep.
Yeah.
For me, this is really tough because I've got a lot of favorites from D1 and certainly a lot of favorites from D2. I think
Mhm.
primary-wise, I would probably go with Hawkmoon. I just
Yeah.
love the way Hawkmoon felt in PvP and PvE. I would agree with you. Ikelos Shoddy is definitely number 2 in my spot right there. And since I can't pick D2 Thunderlord for number 3, I would probably say any rocket launcher from Destiny 1 because they're all better than every rocket and like 90% of the heavy weapons in D2. So we'll say, shoot, something like Hezen Vengeance or any rocket with cluster bombs and tripod on it from D1.
Man. Nim, what about you?
I'm still thinking about it. Is this just like effective weapons or just personal weapons that we
Personal
want?
choice.
I went with personal choice
Yeah, same.
Yeah.
and PVE. I didn't go
Yeah.
with a PvP loadout.
Same.
Shit. So I'm just gonna because I use this
Queenbreaker's
loadout anyway.
bow, and
Oh, you don't know. You don't know Nim very well, do you? Necrochasm rising from the grave.
no, it wasn't even the Necrochasm. What was the one before it? Eidolon's Alley.
Ally, yeah. Oh,
Yeah.
that smelly gun.
Oh man. Yeah, no, TBL got the first one right.
I got
Yeah,
you, buddy.
Necrochasm, Darkblade Spite,
Yeah.
because I love that thing.
Refresh my memory.
Fusion rifle dropped from
It's-
Alakul.
That was the 20 years to charge it fusion rifle, right?
Yes.
Like
was.
I could start charging it right now, go food shopping, watch a football game, come back
Yeah.
right around the time it's about halfway charged me to release the shot.
That's it. That's the one.
That
tell
thing
you
took
though,
forever
Aura,
to charge.
Let me tell you though, getting used to that fusion rifle's like pre-charge time and gauging when an enemy's about to come around a corner or in the distance. That fusion rifle had one of the silliest ranges I've ever used, and it hit.
So
like
are you going PvP? Because I didn't talk about Pantaray.
I hated the Panerai for PvP. I hated it.
Bad roll.
Hated it. Yeah, no. I mean, I use this loadout pretty much everywhere, but yeah, I used it in PvE and PvP as well. But and as far as heavy wise, Black Hammer, original Black Hammer, none of that fucking.
So Whisper of the Worm.
No whispered breathing with 20 times the DPS when you hold your breath for 20
Yeah.
seconds longer.
Yo. Yeah, that's
We
true.
already have an exotic, so
Whisper's better than Black Hammer, except
Yeah.
except for the exotic restriction. That's
Yeah.
true.
For PvP, you're taking the Black Hammer into PvP?
I thought it was a PVE
I don't know.
that's
Actually,
what I used to.
Interesting.
Oh man.
All right, Dan. Crunch time.
All right. I already know. I know what it is. I
He's
know
lying.
my loadout.
He's lying.
Hung Jury.
Ooh, my man.
Hung Jury. I love my roll on my Subtle Calamity and Raise Lighter.
Good choices.
Nice.
Raise lighter.
Raise
I love
lighter.
Raise Lighter. It got me through many an Oryx encounter.
Interesting.
Big swing.
I believe it.
I believe it.
Explain. I was the runner, so I had to take out the knight
Mm-hmm.
down at the
Yeah,
bottom.
raise lighter was like a 2 swipe on the night, right?
Wha! Just wham! Got him.
Yeah.
And then you can change out in
Like the
between.
karate move. You can do that again.
Wha!
Ha!
So professional.
Yeah.
Wow.
Doing it right.
I
Like,
hit my mic, so that's going to show up on the podcast. You're welcome.
I'm actually intimidated.
But yeah, it was. I don't know. It's just like that felt nice. The animation, just everything about it, just had heft.
it was like the Ryu uppercut, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure, you
Uppercut,
can.
yeah.
Exactly, and it was like I don't know. I liked it for that. I know others will say the spin to win was the way to go, but Raise Lighter was my baby for a long time. And Hung Jury, it was tough because I had an antipodal hindsight that I loved
That was
beyond anything, and I called it Stable Babe because it just didn't move at all. And I got a similar role on a Continental later on in the Life of Destiny 1. But that Hung Jury is just too solid of a role to even bypass.
Was Hung Jury static roll?
Yeah,
Yes.
Triple-
initially.
rifle?
Initially,
Yeah, it was- It was static roll. But then they changed the role, I want to say around
It was
around
sometime in the
Taken King?
spring. Well, okay, so Hung Jury dropped with Taken King. That came out with that expansion. And it was the static roll there with the dead orbit until the spring when they finally gave us a refresh.
The Taken Spring.
And that the Taken Spring. And that original roll is one of the greatest weapons we ever got in Destiny. Triple tap, hand-laid stock, Firefly. It sat at something like 97 stability. It was ridiculously good as a weapon.
I
can
that
agree
gun.
with that. That was good. That was one of the best.
One of the visual bugs with the hung jury is that I don't know if this happened specifically in the ogre fight. I can't remember his name. Golgoroth,
yeah.
But I remember anybody who was using the hung jury, whenever they procced Firefly, their character would explode as well. That was great.
Excellent. It's a great memory.
Great. Oh my god! Every time you just saw a Guardian with like just exploding, it's like, oh, that dude's using hung jury.
I remember that.
Hidden perk.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It was great.
I also remember who has the what was it called? Whatever the buff was, and like they'd kill everybody and be like, I didn't have it.
Yeah. Standing next to each other.
You killed everybody. Yeah, like dude, you didn't have it.
Did it look green on the outside of the screen? Then you had it.
Destroyed us all.
You had it the entire time.
Yeah, that was great at the end.
Good times, man. Good times.
Frankie M3 with the last question of the evening. What exotics do you wish had different masterworks? Like different catalysts?
I don't wish they had different catalysts. I wish that the catalysts themselves weren't buffs to stats.
Yeah.
Like I wanted the Risk Runner to have the same effect with Void and Solar.
Yeah.
Instead of chaining, it does burning. Instead of instead of chaining lightning, I could change it to Solar, and I would do damage over time to enemies that it would affect.
That would,
or
cool.
It would do Void damage in some way, shape, or form. So I kind of wish that Masterworks were completely different entirely. Honestly,
almost
like
cartoonish
alterations.
Yeah,
like complete like changes the way the exotic perk. Like TBL was talking about the Huckleberry and its original perks and how it got pulled back because it was considered too strong.
Yeah,
I kind of almost wish that was what the Catalyst and Masterwork version of it was. It took an exotic weapon and made it even more exotic. I'd go back to like the Sunshot shooting a solar grenade that blinds enemies around it. You know, as a catalyst. Let's make these exotic perks even stronger. Let's give these weapons an even more reason to be. Because as it sits, I can run a raid right now with not using a single exotic and still get it done.
Yep.
I don't have to rely on any exotics for anything that they have to offer.
Yeah.
It's nice that they're there. I kind of want to see an entire rework of how Masterworks and how exotics function in their entirety, honestly.
I can agree with that.
You know what? One exotic I wish had come out the way it was data mined initially.
What?
The Astrocyte verse.
What was the original perk for that?
Wait, what is it called?
Astrocyte verse. This was a D1 Warlock exotic helmet.
The most worthless exotic in the game.
Yeah. Is that the one with the planet inside the head?
Yeah.
Like the galaxy, yeah. It was the most beautiful yet worthless exotic.
Initially when that exotic was data mined, the perk that it was tied to it decreased the cooldown on blink, and it increased the length that blink has.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to where like it increases your recovery.
Does nothing basically.
Literally nothing. And it's sad. But
my thought process didn't even go to exotics or to exotic armor, honestly.
Yeah. Well, man. Yeah, what would you add catalyst wise to an exotic armor piece?
Ooh, imagine with Phoenix Protocol, if you die in the Well of Radiance, you come back to life.
Oh shit, yeah.
That'd be dope.
Just
that would be pretty nice.
Self-res. That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Oh man. Yeah,
I mean, and that's part of the problem, like what Aurora was saying. Because some of the catalysts are actually really strong. The catalyst for Whisper of the Worm is really strong.
Yeah.
Whereas comparatively speaking, the Risk Runner, not really that strong. And that's kind of how it is with a lot of the exotics that are in the game right now. Some are really good. Some are fairly noticeable. So, if I were to pick out...
I'm working towards the Fighting Lion catalyst right now.
I'm so sorry.
See what that's all about. I actually have a malicious birthright, and I've been running triple grenade launchers just to have fun. It's actually been a really fun way to play the game.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of trying to see what the Fighting Lion catalyst is going to do, if anything. Apparently, the reload speed really isn't that different.
Yeah.
With it, but when you're playing PvP and it comes down to those microseconds, every second you can save yourself is going to be a pretty big deal. But I don't know, man. Like these kind of, a lot of these catalysts go back to year one. You know what I mean? With a weapon system that nobody was really satisfied with. So part of me is hoping that maybe by the time next September comes around, we finally get to realize the power that exotics should have within the game, whether they're armor or weapons. That's not my, it's not our job as consumers to figure that out. But I don't feel like I'd be the only person saying, hey, Whisper the Worm feels really good with its catalyst. It is a massive step in the right direction. Can we see these changes made to other weapons drop? Because there's just some catalysts that just don't matter.
That's unfortunate. It is.
Yeah.
I feel like the catalyst for Merciless doesn't do anything to it, honestly.
In PvP, it's night and day. You can map
really?
people. Yeah, it's unreal.
I don't know.
In PvE, it's hard to tell because it's designed to shred anyway. Like it's designed to not kill in the first shot. That's not its intention. It's designed to build damage, charge rate, and do massive amounts of damage over time without actually being a time weapon.
Yeah.
So it's hard to tell what that's going to do for you in PvE, but in PvP, that range is a huge difference.
Okay.
From being someone who gets killed by it, who has been killed by it, I tell you.
Yeah. All right. I think that's all the questions that we had that I saw.
Well, right on. I did have one question for you guys, since everybody here has unlocked the new forge. Has everybody gotten the blast furnace? Been a lot of talk about this pulse rifle. What's the best roll of it you've gotten?
The only roll I have.
The only
kill clip feeding frenzy is the only roll I have.
So you got the top tier roll right off the bat.
I think the barrel perk isn't the best for the one that I got. Apparently, there's a couple other things you can do to make it a bit more powerful. But that I got a decent amount of hate mail from my own community when that dropped.
As
Thanks,
is
guys.
custom.
So, yeah, it's the only roll I got.
I've
gotten not fired a single round of it, by the way.
Really?
Not one single shot.
It's actually a pretty decent pulse rifle. It's basically a better Go figure. I do believe.
Is it better than my Outlaw Rampage Go figure?
It has the potential to be. Because I do believe Mercules, who does the massive breakdowns of all of these things, has the Massive Breakdown podcast. Fantastic guy. He posted a tweet saying this, just about the stats for the Blast Furnace. Comparing the base stats of the Go figure to the Blast Furnace has 9 more range, 6 more stability, 2 more reload speed, 1 less handling, 2 more aim assist, 4 less recoil direction, the same magazine size, and is capable of rolling with better perks than the Go figure generally is, which I thought was interesting. And I wanted to see what kind of rolls you guys have gotten. I personally, I have a Rasmussen ISA sight, which is a pretty good sight for that one. Pretty snappy. Appended Mag, Zen Moment, Ambitious Assassin. When I use Ambitious Assassin right, this thing sometimes has in excess of 70 rounds in the magazine.
Wow.
It's a little silly in PvE.
That's stupid.
It's a little silly. I'm still trying to roll for something like what Aura has, like a good old feeding frenzy roll with kill clip or something like that. But I've played around with it. It's a pretty good pulse rifle. It's not bad at all.
I'm a hand cannon guy.
Yeah, I understand that.
Pulse rifles, like even being a Hawksaw main, I'm still not getting a pulse rifle that feels and plays to me the same way that the Hawksaw did. The Requiem, about the closest thing that I can really get to it. The Nightshade, the Nurgle, kind of going back to original Destiny 2 Year 1 weapons, are kind of fit that form for me too. We'll see what happens when I fire a bullet out of it, but for now, it's been just kind of chilling.
It's not bad. It's just a really decent pulse rifle that's got really great base stats. I like it. give it a good old run in the Crucible when Mayhem goes away and people start playing like normal people again.
Yeah. It's Christmas Day.
Christmas Day. And our gift is Iron Banner. Thanks,
Yep.
Bungie.
Yay.
Rest in peace. Well, on that wonderful note, thanks so much for listening to episode 182 of the Planet Destiny podcast. This has been a fun one. We got to talk about a lot of different stuff this week. I'm very much looking forward to what we've got coming up in coming weeks. We've got that whole Niobe Labs thing happening, the fourth Forge. We've got the draw happening at the end of next month. Man, we've still got a lot to look forward to. It's been a pretty big year in terms of Destiny, hasn't it?
Yeah.
We had quite the turnaround from Curse of Osiris to Warmind to the revolution that has been Forsaken, and I'd say overall, I think things are looking pretty bright right now, and I cannot wait to see some of the stuff that we've got coming in the future, and I hope you guys feel the same.
Yeah. It feels like Destiny's in the best spot that it's been in a while, in a long time, if not the best spot.
Yeah,
we've
absolutely
seen Destiny be in.
Definitely. I think as long as Bungie keeps on this road that they've made here, then we've got a pretty bright future to look towards. And I can't wait to learn more about it. I know that's certainly true for me. But that is going to be it for this one, guys. Thank you all so much for tuning in. Merry Christmas and happy holidays to one and all. We hope you guys are having yourself a wonderful holiday season. Stay warm. It's super cold out there right now. And we hope you're enjoying yourself in the world of Destiny 2. Try not to cry too much when you get the garbage hand cannon rolls on Tuesday.
I'll cry as much as I want.
That's the equivalent of coal in everybody's stocking. We all messed up, and we're all getting coal from Lord Saladin this time around. But all right, before we get on out of here, we're going to let you know where you can find us across the internet and what we've got coming up this week. Nim, where are you, man?
Twitch.tv/nemplays and twitter.com/nemplays, as well as the Planet Destiny YouTube, which, since I managed to score Le Monarque, I will be working on the review for that. Hopefully it should be up within the next couple days. I got to play with it a little bit more. Yeah. Dan.
Hi guys. You can find me this week. I'm just going to be celebrating with family and streaming when I can. That's on twitch.tv/Danfinity. You can find me also here on Thursdays and Fridays, depending on Thursdays or Fridays, depending on if I'm working that day. You can also find me on Twitter, and Nim, you're going to love the shit out of this because Nate Fu and Butt Coffee from my chat came up with this. Dan Flannelty.
Dan Flannelty.
Twitter. Yeah, Dan Flannelty on Twitter. And that's all I'm gonna say. Just have a happy and safe holiday, and that's pretty much it. Aura.
Hi everybody. You can find me at twitch.tv/Aura on Twitter, twitter.com/evilaura, 3VIL_AURA.
And of course, my name is The Black Link. You can find me pretty much everywhere across the internet, Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, all at The Black Link. Oh, this Christmas week, I've got work tomorrow, so I'll be doing that. But, if I get some time, we'll be holding, the usual streams, probably starting on Wednesday, moving out throughout the week, playing some stuff, getting in some good times on Smash Brothers and stuff like that. But all right, ladies and gentlemen, Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and thank you so much for tuning in to episode 182 of the Planet Destiny podcast. It's been a fun one, and we're looking forward to catching you Guardians next week. Bye, everybody.